Sorry, I got
It'd be,
into a
it'd be kind of
conversation.
It'd be funny to do it around your belly button. It's like you have a little tattoo around your belly button.
I just put stuff there.
Sorry, I got into a conversation with my roommate about Snowpiercer.
Good
That's an
movie.
interesting movie.
Excellent film.
It got him very salty because he was like, "What? I think humanity can survive," and the movie's like, "No."
Basically, what my nephew, tells me is that the solution that they were doing for climate change of dumping that type of chemical into the atmosphere is something that various nations have talked about doing.
Oh boy.
Cool.
And the thing is that many nations have the capability of doing it, and
Without everybody else say yes.
Yeah, and no one really knows what the right threshold for balance of it is. And once you do it, there's no way to get rid of it.
Right. There's no going back.
So the one solution to climate change is to create an ice age. That'd be much easier to do than to actually fix the problem.
Great.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
Speaking of...
The scary thing about today's world is that literally most industrialized nations have the capability of killing everybody.
Yep.
Man, I just want to draw furry porn and play D&D.
Right? How far we've come. Alright, so when we last left off, you had entered... I don't even remember what the name of this Hodunk backwater was.
Balerno.
Balerno. You had met a skeletal sommelier. Spotted some ghosts, talked with a lesser vampire, learned about vampire politics, and found a path to get to
Penzance.
What's it called?
Penzance.
Penzance, thank you. Yes. thank you. I was testing you, Cap. And you never disappoint.
We've never been to sea, so we really haven't had an opportunity to become pirates.
Good one.
And so you learned about the 5 vampire lords. Lady Paugor, Lord Mirish, Lady Brownbow, Lord Ravenkind, and Kaicheg. He refuses the title of lord.
Hmm.
And we had contacted the consortium to get a last bit of... Yep. Including scrying gear.
Who did you want to scry on again? Gadra?
Gadra.
Right.
To try and narrow down what clan she's in.
Where she's currently located, and whether or not she... Oh. Hey, Clem.
Mm.
Do you still have that cigarette I gave you?
I do. Clem produces a cigarette. Thought we might need it on a rainy day.
Yeah. I got this one when we were with the consortium. I'm a little afraid, but if we need answers, this one will give us answers. And Salandra hands you a scroll, and it's a contract other plane scroll.
Ooh.
So I'm a little scared of this one now.
The cigarette or the scroll?
The scroll.
Oh.
It's not like a standard.
Yeah, that's
essentially
risky.
Yeah, it's sort of put in my mind out there and asking something for answers. I figured that the cigarette's the only way I'd want to try doing it if it comes down to it. Oh. So this greater scrying spell. I guess the advantages are that we can cast spells through it.
That would make sense.
Well, if my understanding is correct, I should be able to cast a message cantrip through it. Which means I can contact Gadra.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's risky, but...
Worth it.
Fuck. Yeah.
If she's so tightly under the control of her master, would the message be overheard?
Well, it might be. So I'm not going to say where I am or what we're doing.
It's a test.
Just the fact, yeah, just the way we're scrying doesn't imply anything. And I'm going to, well, I've got two possibilities. Don't want to be scryed back on, so I think I can do something about that.
All right.
Just to, Hey, DM.
Yo.
Mage's private sanctum. It doesn't say anything about me not being able to scry out of it.
No, you can definitely scry out, but scrying out, it, like, opens up a window.
What if I do a combination of Mage's private sanctum and non-detection? I'd be pretty...
I mean, you're well protected. You will get bonuses, but you have opened up the porthole on the submarine.
Yeah.
Do not be surprised if the water starts rushing in.
Alright, let's see if we can find someplace fairly quiet and secluded. I can make it more secluded.
Alright.
And then we can try this.
Alright. Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
So you find a private spot, set up your mage's private sanctum, cast non-detection on yourself, and then cast scrying with your mirror?
Yeah, I'm trying to debate on whether or not it's regular scrying or greater scrying for this one.
Symbol of scrying? Oh. It's like a scrying trap.
Alright, if I want to talk to Gadra, I need to do, I need to actually do the, greater scrying. Alright, so we'll try greater scrying. So I have to make a, use magic item roll, right?
Not with the scroll, unless greater scrying is on your spell list.
No it is not.
Oh. Oh yeah, it's on the witch spell list, so yes. You need to use a used magic device.
Okay, I believe that's a 29.
Oh, of course it's not that simple. Me.
Oh, no, 31. Sorry, I have a 16.
You fail!
Crap.
You do not fail so catastrophically that the scroll is wasted.
What was the difficulty on a 7th level spell?
It's the spell. It's the caster level plus 20, not the
Caster
spell level.
Plus 20. So that means I need to get a 35?
Something like that.
Yee.
And if you
Okay.
fail by, I can't remember if it's 5 or 10 or greater, then the scroll becomes useless.
I thought you had said something the other day about the fact that I could cast 6th level spells helped.
I was wrong. Well, I thought, okay, so when I told you that, I was operating under the impression that, that scrying was on the, mega spell list.
Well, there is no mega spell list for 7th level.
Then, nope.
Nope. Okay.
Well, is scrying on the mega spell list?
I don't believe so, no.
It is not. So, yeah, nope. Sorry. Your pre-existing caster levels will not help you with this. Scrying is so far outside your purview.
What's the difficulty for Clementine?
Well,
It's an arcane spell.
right. That's
It's on her list.
That's fair. It is on her spell list, but she would have to cast it in a very different way, and doing so would also alter the save modifiers, because
Oh yeah, I know Gadra, so
yeah,
it should be.
exactly. You are so familiar with the subject, let's say, that the subject will get a severe penalty on their save. But Clementine could assist you.
Yes, please.
That'd be helpful. All right, let's get this another go. Oh crap!
All right. Just a caster level check.
No, it is a use magic device skill roll.
Oh.
So, difficulty is the 20 plus the caster level of the spell, which. Oh, wait a second. It's a 7th level spell, so witches get that at level 13. So that would be a 33 then. Alright, so that's not as bad as I thought it was. And I am 1 down.
I'm helping with a 7.
With a 7, you are not helping.
Crap.
So you guys once again try to work out this scroll, and it's like a petulant child is just like, no, that's not how you cast scrying.
Alright. One more try.
All right, we can do this.
That ain't pipe, that's tubing.
Alright, 19. So 30.
And 22.
Hey! You guys work together. You kick it and you spit on it, and then it works.
Googly, googly, googly.
Oh, fuck.
And then Gadra makes a save. And then you see an image of her. She is sort of like in a library, in a sort of like she's in a library on a desk. The torch sconces on the walls burn with the dark fire, and she's got like an arrayment of desks and tables around like a large sheet of paper, and there are books like. So, like, imagine, like, King Arthur's Round Table. Fucking huge. at the center of it is like a large sheet of paper upon which is drawn like a whole bunch of rune work. And around it are a series of books, and she is like walking around the table looking at different books and like very carefully adding new lines and glyphs onto the rune work at the center of it. And like the only reason she's not sweating right now is because she's a vampire. Like you've seen that level of concentration on her face before.
Yeah. Under much better circumstances too.
Like, hot damn, fucking, we're dealing with this.
I'm gonna do a spellcraft check on what she's working on. She's an archaeologist, so basically she's a bard.
May I assist on that?
You may.
Oh!
Make a perception roll.
It's about to say.
32.
Please write your results down and stop shouting them like a bunch of petulant children.
No.
Damn. Ouch.
That's the best perception roll I've had in my whole life. Where's my bonus? So that'll be a...
Jesus Christ, Sal.
We zeroed the fuck in on this.
What do your elf eyes see?
What do your elf eyes? I zoom
Oh.
in. I zoom in my cyber eyes. Oh man, I can't remember the name of the creature.
I have to be careful with my purple dye. It's
a dangerous thing. You would not want to waste or abuse it. Hello? Hello? No.
Hello.
Hello?
Oh, hey. Sorry, my microphone shut itself.
There you go. You didn't miss much.
Um,
I'm sorry you wasted a 20, Sal.
this is not a waste.
No, this one was not a waste. No.
That one's not a waste. The poacher was.
The poacher was a waste. That was annoying. I think he almost shit himself. It was really annoying. I was trying to be menacing, not like absolutely terrifying beyond all reason.
What do you see with your elf eyes? Lots of things. So yeah, Salandra, this is some of the most complicated rune work you have ever seen in your entire life. And like you've seen Kira's rune work, and you've seen a lot of rune work because I just keep looking up complicated rune work and finding progressively more and more ridiculous horse shit. Like, so like, the center ring is okay. That's fine. That's good. But then you add in the 3 outer rings. That would be a little complicated. But then you create concentric rings between the center ring and outermost rings, and then overlap the entire thing with a pyramid of power. And then, like, stabilizing the pyramid is only capable from additional rings outside the outer ring. This is a gigantic circle of go fuck yourself. The rune work of this circle would permit the one who manipulated it to bind something of unfathomable power.
Like a god?
Not that powerful. Like a demigod. You don't happen to know any demigods that are rampaging around?
I know some Scions.
Perhaps a demigod of death, whose tomb Gadra had
Drax.
been. Yes.
No.
Oh, you see,
shit.
there he is. There's his name. It's right there in the center rune word.
So, is she just sort of refreshing the work, or it seems like this was something that was already done?
No. She's not refreshing it. She's making it. Like, there are a lot of bits and pieces that are missing, and like you can see the print on some of those smaller areas. It's very, very small, and it all has to be done very, very precisely. This is not something that you want to fuck up.
Is this something where a read magic or a detect magic would be of any use?
Not really. Do you understand? It is magic. How powerful? Very powerful. Not overwhelming, because fucking everybody throws overwhelming around like a fucking tool. It is not overwhelming. What school? Probably enchantment.
All right, I'm going to take out my notebook and just start, making sketches and notes regarding this. I want to have it for reference. I'm looking for for weaknesses, ways to break this.
Um.
So how were they controlling Drax before if this is still under construction?
It becomes clear that they were not controlling him before.
Fuck.
They just woke him up.
How is Gadra? How far from complete is this?
How what?
How far from complete is this?
Fleet?
Complete.
Oh, how far from complete? A ways off. Maybe a couple of weeks.
Holy fuck.
Something bad?
Very.
This looks serious, but I can't really tell exactly what she's working with.
So those runes there?
Mhm.
That's Drax's name. Those are symbols of control, domination. That would allow them to see through his eyes. Yeah, this is serious shit.
Do you think
Drax
she's
dad.
doing this willingly?
I don't know how she got the power to do this. I mean, Gadra's like me. She's not a focused spellcaster.
Right.
Well, anyone can work a magic circle. It's just a matter of how much time are you willing to devote to it, and how much research do you have.
Mm-hmm. Well, this indicates like a ridiculous level of spellcraft, most likely.
I mean, it's not a ridiculous level of spellcraft. It's a ridiculous level of taking 20s.
Yeah. Wow.
So, I don't want to alarm you,
Yeah.
but do you have the goggles handy? Can I?
Yeah. You want to try them?
Yes, please.
Slander seems surprised.
Looking at put on the goggles,
Put on
and
the
I try
goggles.
to focus on that thing.
Well, it's less blurry now, but all you can see is a single eyeball and like black hair staring back at you. You do see the like the iris of the eye expand. Like, oh, that's curious. Like the way a cat's eye's pupil dilates when it like notices something that intrigues it.
Where's the eyeball?
That's a very good question.
So I can focus on it now with the goggles.
You can't focus on it, but it becomes less blurry.
All right. I point in a general direction that you notice is not exactly where Holt is facing, and say, we're being watched by something. I can see a floating eye in the corner of my vision.
It's not just
And
an
it won't.
eye. Like, it belongs to a face, but like the eye and like part of the head is all you can see.
It's like something's looking through a keyhole at us.
Oh God, Cap, talk descriptive to me.
Is it? Could it be Gadra looking back?
What color is the eye, Reynold?
The color of the eye is red.
I don't know. Does she have red eyes?
All vampires have
She's
red eyes.
a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Not literally all of them.
Can I see this now?
Make a perception roll.
$34.
Oh wait. Oh, now you can see it too. You couldn't see it before when you were focusing on the
Spell work.
on the circle because you weren't paying attention to it. It's just right there. This face. It's in the corner of your eye, and it keeps shifting.
Do I recognize? Is this a spell that's essentially monitoring?
I mean, you can tell. You get the distinct impression that you are being monitored, but this is not a spell the likes of which you have seen.
Fuck. I don't dare contact her now. All right, so I get no sense of where she's located or anything else.
Nope. You just know that she is in a shadow torch lit library.
Can I pan out or do anything else with this view?
Unfortunately not. I mean, you can pan out further and, oh look, there are many more bookshelves. This library is very large and well stocked. Oh wait, shit, I got the perfect image for it.
I just hate it when you have an excellent idea but your character's too fucking dumb. And also doesn't see this image.
Aw, man. Oh, wait, I think I already used this image. I'll use a different one then. Damn it. Damn it! Why is it so hard to find a full screen image? There we go. We're talking a big library here.
Oh, that's a huge library.
That library is extremely big.
It is very big.
Isn't the library from Castlevania?
It is!
Yes.
I'm really smart.
I mean, I figure if I'm gonna start... If we're dealing with vampires, I'm contractually obligated to steal things from Castlevania. And if we're in need of a library, I might as well steal the best library there is.
That's a very good point.
Excellent point from Reynold. Gather whatever other information you need, but I don't think this is safe to keep this open.
Yeah, I know. I point my finger at Gadra. Hey, babe. Sorry to distract you. I know that they know I'm watching you. Just wanted to say hi. Anything that you can that you've been allowed to volunteer?
Solandra, don't do something stupid.
You knew me for a long time. Talk to
Yeah.
you later, babe.
And like, pardon me, I will put a kibosh on that. She doesn't say Solandra, she just says Sal. Because she does want to say your name, but she knows that saying your full name that would be bad. So you say you've known me for a long time, and like as you break contact, you can hear her like before she continues to work, she says, "Never mind. It can basically be counted that she'll do something incredibly intelligently stupid."
Right.
But she
Yeah, I
does
break up.
like look pleadingly, hopefully out in the general direction of like around her. She cannot see the scrying sensor, but she's like, "Oh, thank God, someone is here." Her basic body language screams, "Hurry!"
To me or to the thing outside the circle?
Yes.
I break the scrying session.
When you break the
Fuck.
scrying session, the figment of your imagination like slowly fades away. But like its attention is clawing, scrabbling, desperate to remain, and yet it is washed away like ink on canvas.
So basically, it's a good thing I cast both those spells.
It is a very good thing that you cast both of those spells. I mean, then again, that only would have let it know where you were and who you were. Now it just knows that someone cares a lot about their head researcher.
That makes sense.
Oh, fuck.
But hey, take heart, Solandra. Gadra is too important to be replaced. She is one of the like best archaeologists on the planet, bar none. She's not a powerful mage, but she is a powerful researcher. In the event that her captor does intend to sideline her, that would turn that 2 weeks into like a month.
At best.
At best. We don't know who she'd be replacing Gadra with, but I mean, like, come on, give your girl some credit.
All right, so this other spell would allow me to determine where she is, but it's insanely difficult. It will be much tougher to cast than the Greatest Scrying. However, there is a spell that is a little bit more within my ability, but it's very dangerous.
Dangerous how?
Well, I think it could drive me insane.
That's dangerous. What is it?
Well, it's essentially a spell that reaches out into the planes and tries to find some entity that knows the answers to your questions.
Oh my god.
Oh.
What spell are you talking about?
Contact other plane.
Oh.
That sounds a lot like something that you would tell me not to do.
Yep.
Which means you should definitely do it.
I'm not gonna say don't do it, but maybe we should find a different place to cast it if this one's been breached by something.
No, it hasn't been. I don't think, at least. I think it saw us, but it couldn't figure out. Can't pinpoint where we are. This, she points to sort of the dark haze that surrounds us.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is a pretty good block, and then I also cast a spell that made me essentially immune to divination. So, not quite enough. But I think it prevented it from really getting a full foothold on where we were.
Wow, this spell is incredibly powerful and yet so low level just because anything can happen. The entity intentionally lies to you. The entity tries to lie, but doesn't really know the answer, so it just makes one up.
Fucking outstanding.
Are you able to contact a specific entity with this? Or just anything that decides to talk to you?
So the way it works is that you can choose the type of intelligence that you speak to and roughly where it is in the planar cosmology, but you cannot choose who it is.
Yeah.
So, like, you can choose to speak to something on the elemental plane, but elementals are fickle. Fickle and not very well informed. You could contact one of the positive or negative energy planes, but you're not sure which you get, and the creatures there are more straight shooters, but not really well informed. Things don't really get good in terms of getting good information until you start contacting lesser deities on an outer plane. But at that point, you're going someplace so far removed from where you are, you're really straining your brain. And of course, if you really want good intelligence, you'll contact a greater deity on an outer plane. But that doesn't guarantee that that creature won't decide to mess with you. And as always, you don't know who you're talking to. Just something that knows lots of things.
So I addressed Kira. Well, what do you think? It's a little redundant in contacting a greater deity. Could you give me more information through this than normally? I pull out the tarot deck.
Ooh.
Her deck. And I pull out the cigarette I just bummed off of Clementine. Would this give me better odds?
All questions are answered with yes, no, maybe, never, irrelevant, or some other simple one-word answer. I do like irrelevant. Moo, the question doesn't make sense.
How many questions do I get answers to? Let's see.
You may ask one question for every 2 caster levels, so I think you get 9 questions.
To be fair, this scroll is probably a 9th level I'm 19th, so I'd get 9, but I think the scroll would be less, right?
Nope. You may ask one question for every 2 caster levels. It is not limited by the power of the scroll.
Oh.
Range, personal, target, you. Which does sound interesting. It leads me to believe that only... Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Only spellcasters may use contact other plane. Sorry, Holt, they don't want to talk to you. You're too dumb.
Me? That's fine.
I accept this.
I don't have anything I want to say to them, so.
What? You don't want to talk to Dagon? Now Dagon is offended.
Well, I guess Dagon wants to talk to me then.
So am I asking, is each question answered by the same entity?
Yes. You will make contact with one entity, and it will... You'll have a little palaver, and it will explain some things.
Oh. And so that's just a straight intelligence check.
Yep. Look at the bright
Fuck.
side. Clementine can probably fix your brain.
Yeah, probably.
I'm saving that image, jokes.
Also, what does RSVP mean?
Respondez,
Is
s'il
it
vous
like
plaît.
respondez something s'il vous plaît?
S'il vous plaît, yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. But, yeah. Like, yeah, you never know who you're talking to. Might be Asmodeus, might be Dagon, might be Dogo himself.
Ay, ay, ay. Alright.
But no matter what, the creature may feel compelled to lie to you or just make something up.
Alright, I'm a little scared of this one, guys. Talking about these goddamn parasites.
Good luck.
You can do this.
Okay. Questions. We need to ask specific questions that are going to have simple answers. I was thinking... Alright, what's the name of the house that... I have to go look at that. What you have pinned.
Did I pin it?
You didn't. The two ladies are Lady Palgor and Lady Brownbow.
Alright. Would the cigarette give me the ability to tell truth from falsehood?
The cigarette would allow you to better process the answers afterward. So, not while you were doing it, but if you... Yes, essentially. But you do not take LSD and go to the fucking Cats movie, Sal.
I thought it was Pink Floyd laser show. You weren't supposed to do that.
Either or. Don't.
I mean, you take cough syrup and go to one of those.
Is the Pink Floyd laser show still a thing for your generation, or is it like does that?
Yeah,
Actually, I want one.
I went to see one.
I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm imagining the end of 2001.
A little trippier than that. All right. I don't think it is a mega spell, so I still have to roll, even though it's within my level range.
Does Magus have a special spell list, or do they just use Sorcerer and Wizard?
They have a subsection of Sorcerer and Wizard. That's the reason why
Got
I
it.
have to, you know.
Then
Magus
yes.
get to cast the spells without the somatic.
Eh.
So
Then,
that's the reason why our spells are a little bit, different.
got it.
It's handy.
So handy.
Yeah.
Oh man, Solandra, as you're using these spells, you realize exactly how many shortcuts you've taken in your magical studies.
You know something? It's handy taking a shortcut when you're fighting someone directly.
Right? Like, this is not to fault your technique or your mindset, but just like, oh shit.
Doing things the proper way often results in someone hitting you over the head with a sword.
Right? When she's right, she's right. Preach.
All right, I'm gonna try it.
Go for it. Roll that beautiful use magic device footage. The DC is much lower because it is a lower level spell.
Oh, yeah. Naturally, I got a 35.
You are good to go. Now then, make an intelligence check.
Should I do that before I ask my question or after I ask?
It stipulates that you do that before you ask the question.
Okay.
If the check fails, your
Right.
intelligence and charisma
Is it-
scores each fall to 8 for the stated duration, and you become unable to cast additional spells. If you lose intelligence and
do I
charisma...
just for each question or just the one once?
Nope, you only do it once.
Okay, that's
The
good.
effect strikes as soon as the first question is asked, and no answer is received. If a successful contact is made, roll to determine
21.
the type of answer you get. You are good. You forge contact with this creature, and its basic attitude towards you is what? And your mind reels under the sheer power of its word. But keep it together, Sal. Keep it together. Solandra reads the scroll, and she's gritting her teeth. Like, she looks like she's drinking from the fucking fire hose, dude.
Holt looks fairly concerned.
Clem puts an encouraging hand on.
Okay, question number 1. Was Gadra sired as a vampire by Lady Brownbow?
Please type, in addition to speaking it, type it into the text chat so that we have a record of the answers.
You want it in general?
Yes. This is fun. You guys want to play 20 questions?
The only thing at stake is your mind.
The only thing at stake is your life, and you got that for free. Now ante up.
I'm not This is Penzance, right? Is the name of the place we're going to?
Yes.
That's okay. Currently in the Brownbow Enclave in Penzance. Sorry. Should I edit that?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
seem like a somewhat kind of question.
It is. That's not a good sound.
So the next question is, are any of the vampire houses in opposition to the efforts of Gadra's
Malefactor?
masters to control Drax?
Uh,
Damn.
what's funny, Pitch?
Cap just popped something in the memes.
Give me the memes. Yes.
Holt reloading is naturally done.
All right. Am I asking good questions here?
I think so.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
All right. I'm going to make one of those high intelligence rolls that Slandra gets to do because of her freaking 26 int.
Mm-hmm.
I want to come up with a really good question.
Ooh, okay.
And let's see. I rolled a 17 plus 8, 25.
Damn. Okay, you're gonna think of a really good question as soon as I think of a really good question.
We'll just find a really good answer and work backwards.
All right, I'm working on other questions here.
Yes.
Here is your question.
Should I say control Drax instead?
The
Mo-
monster.
the mons-
The monster is
is-
sufficient. There is one capital M monster in this situation. I'm not trying to trick you. But this entity may yet lie to you.
And so I'm also laying the cards as this goes out to see if I can get any additional insight.
Ooh. Let me get you 3 cards.
I remember these things are freaking artifacts. They should be worth something.
Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Cap,
Yes.
lay me down 3 cards.
1, 2,
One moment. I'm gonna
Three,
have to get a
4,
deck.
5,
Okay,
I've got
may,
4.
6. All right, 3 questions left.
Yep.
may I use one of your decks?
You certainly may.
Is there anyone here that you would recommend?
I recommend the Renaissance deck.
This one?
It's more traditional imagery.
All right, excellent. Very well.
Am I able to interact with the others while I'm doing this, or is it all my attention focused on it?
Not really. I mean, like, if any of them want to include any questions, they can, and they pop into Solandra's head. Oh, isn't that funny?
I visualize that right now Solandra's sitting with her legs crossed, hovering several inches above the ground. She can levitate, remember. And eyes closed, features are kind of like drawn, and she's casting the cards in front of her.
I imagine the cards are also levitating.
Yeah.
And
Gambit style.
But it's strange. Like, each time she flips a card, like, it sends, like, air dispersing with a gust of wind. Like, it's so big. Like, it's so heavy.
Actually, this is a pretty good painting.
What's the painting?
This is Solandra casting the cards while she's doing the contact of the plans.
Yeah.
She probably stripped out of her clothes for this. This is a ritual best.
The clothes get in the way. Aw.
Okay. What we have is the King of Cups in reverse, the Ten of Cups upright, and the Priestess upright. Which is the Empress part. Yeah.
Alright. King of Cups. Self-compassion. Inner feelings. Moodiness. The emotionally manipulative. Ten of Cups. Divine love. Blissful relations. Harmony. Alignment. And the Empress. Femininity. Beauty, nature, nurturing, and abundance. Okay.
Vocab.
Not quite.
Well, it doesn't sound like a malevolent deity, at least.
Hopefully not.
If you had to guess, you would sooner assume Umberly.
Isn't she like an evil water goddess?
Yep. That doesn't mean that there isn't beauty, nature, nurturing, and abundance in her. It just means that it's not for you.
I like that, Reynolds.
There is divine love, harmony, and alignment in the sea, but it's not for you. And do not tell me that the bitch queen of the sea is not moody.
Or emotionally manipulative.
Right. You get the
Sunsets, fuck.
Oh shit. You get the distinct impression that you are contacting Umberly. And she does seem eager to speak with you. I mean, there's
Interesting.
no sea around for miles.
I know, that was the thing I was about to observe. Alright, so next question. Ugh.
Hold on, your step, baby. Hold on.
The
Ah.
Kraken Society.
Trying to ask these as yes/no questions makes it much more complicated.
Oh god. Look at that. Look at that glee.
Oh shit. I fucking love that.
Me too. Nice.
And that's what she's all about. You have one more question remaining.
Do Clementine and Holt have any suggestions?
I was gonna ask about potential allies. I
Shall
was
I ask?
also going to try and guess, or think about maybe, like, can we pit House X against House Y?
But you would have to specify which houses specifically.
Yeah, that's the
Exactly.
reason why I just asked about K-Cheg. What other house should we ask?
Would it be worth asking about Ravenkind? Considering
Raven-
we've met with one of their people?
Alright, I'll just do the... I was thinking about asking about Ravenkind initially, but I figured K-Cheg is seems like a more of an outsider. Of course,
More of an
Ravenkind could be
outsider and in line
be-
with some of our most powerful abilities. meaning the hint set is druidic
say-
background.
Potential ally against Brombo. So I was essentially noting each question. I let the spell drop. I fall to the floor from my levitation. The cards fall.
Actually, the come down is much gentler than you expected.
Holt still rushes over and puts a steadying hand across your back.
Well done, Salandro.
You notice that the dragonfly on her the dragonfly wing serpent on her back sort of flexes its wings a few times. Oh. All right. Clem, I think you're more in tune with this stuff. Do you want to try?
All right, I'll give it a shot.
I give her the cigarette. I give her the I wrote down all the questions and all the responses. I think I trust your intuition.
All right.
Look,
Do you fucking smoke that dank kush?
I light the fuck up.
Clementine starts blazing. Clementine, roll that beautiful wisdom footage.
You got it.
Oh, it's a wisdom roll. Definitely a good
It
idea to
is.
give it to her.
Do I add anything for the anti-cigarette?
No. The anti-cigarette
Okay.
is what permits the roll.
Okay, cool. 22.
Nice. Alright, let's start from the top. Was Godra sired by as a vampire by Lady Brownbow? Yes. That doesn't mean necessarily that Brownbow is in charge of the project, but if there is if she is in charge, so she's either in charge or she is a co-conspirator. But the yes to that does not necessarily preclude the involvement of somebody else.
Yep.
Is Godra currently in a Brownbow enclave in Penzance? Somewhat links into the library we saw a Brownbow facility. No, which means it doesn't belong to the Brownbows, but it does belong to someone else, and the Brownbows are using it, which means there's definitely a co-conspirator. Are any of the vampire houses in opposition? Are any of the vampire houses interested in undermining her as potential allies? Those two answers contradict. One of them has to be a lie. So either the resistance is active or there is no resistance at all.
Okay.
Are there other Bloodlords working with Brownbow to control the monster? Yes. That means that there is definitely a conspiracy, and the conspiracy is to control the monster, not destroy it. And control the monster, not enlighten it. Kaicheg is a potential ally insofar as his bestial nature makes it easy to point him at a target. The library is not a common facility, and it does not belong to Brownbow, which means it must belong to her conspirator. And is Ravenkind a potential ally against Brownbow? Yes. Ravenkind likes the status quo. He is the status quo, man. He's not a status quo man. He's a status quo man.
Yeah, I should have asked
It's the good Kush.
if any of the houses
This is the
specifically
dollar
were
store.
aligned.
How good can it
That's
be?
the thing that was missed.
Man, it kind of reminds me that Cat, that gif,
Mm.
that video you posted reminds me of that video of a guy. He's running around a party and he's handing a Wiimote to people, like it's a vape.
Like it's a
pen.
vape. Yes.
And they're all like smoking up and like acting super stoned, even though like nothing happens. Oh, it's beautiful. Sorry, Dave, I interrupted you.
Oh no, I should have asked who the ally was.
Well, you
Which
can't
houses
ask
were
who
aligned.
the ally is, but you'd have to cycle through all of them.
Yep. Same as asking who might be an enemy, and of course you're always going to get a yes or a no. So hard to say.
Yep. Yeah, it seems more likely that the other Bloodlords would be interested in stopping this. But it seems as if Brownbow is not working alone.
So, should we go with the presumption then that Ravenkind is the one we should contact?
Seems likely. Yeah.
I really hate fucking dealing with these things.
I know. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be intrigue around every corner. I thought the Drow city was bad. This is a city where everyone is a scheming matron.
We choose to go to Penzance and unhinge the vampire conspiracy, not because it is easy, but because it is hard.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Good accent.
Was that a good Kennedy?
It was good, yeah.
Very
Okay.
good.
It sounded good in my head.
Very passable.
You're showing your Yankee roots.
Anyway, where to? What's the plan, folks?
So, how long have we been up? I can't remember if we had been traveling for a long while before getting to this little podunk town. We've been here for.
I think it was you traveled for a few days, but it was uneventful travel.
No, I meant, do we need a rest now, or can we, or was this still early in the day for us?
It is impossible to tell.
Well, in terms of the amount of time we've been traveling today.
So, you're underground, Salandra.
Do we have some sort of timepiece? Because
Are we tired?
There we go.
My timepiece is how sleepy I am.
Exactly.
Yep.
But the weird thing about traveling underground is your circadian rhythm gets all fucked up.
what circadian rhythm?
Exactly. Sometimes you feel tired and sometimes you don't. The passage of time becomes mutable. It can really
I don't
fuck
actually
you
sleep,
up.
so as long as I have time to meditate, I'm okay.
But I mean, there are lodgings for the night, so perhaps you should take
Advantage of it?
Take advantage of it.
Yeah, the spell lasts for 24 hours, so
Alright.
it gives us a little bit of security.
I think we should take advantage of that. It's probably not going to be easy to come by when we get into Penzance.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about a tavern in Penzance is like, who sleeps?
I sleeps.
The thing about a tavern in Penzance is that we're on the menu.
They can try.
Welcome to the Dixie Pig. I recommend the long pork.
Let's get serious. It's Holt's volunteering to be on the menu, probably.
No,
Oh,
I've
vampires.
been sampled by a vampire once, and that was enough.
Yeah, but Zoltan didn't try to make it feel good.
No, he didn't, but he took a trace amount of what he needed, and it still messed me up pretty good.
That's true.
Man, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
What were we, like,
Memories.
7th level or something?
think
6th
so.
level.
We were babies.
We were 6th level, edging on 7th. I only remember 7, 8 was when we were going to the Hell Jungle first time.
Such wee babs.
We were under 10 for that battle. It's intense.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah, we were 8th level when Rivo joined us,
Mm-hmm.
which was the Hell Jungle.
Uh-huh.
Yowza.
F.
Press F to pay respect. He's not dead.
I'm still paying respects.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Put an F in chat for our mate. Alright, so you guys sleeping in the tavern or here in this dusty X house?
In the Dusty house.
Dusty X house.
Got it.
It's already fortified.
Watches are taken. You guys sleep. I'd call it a pleasant sleep, but it's just not. Sorry, guys.
Say sufficient sleep.
It is a sufficient sleep. Your rests won't be good until you're back surface side again. This whole underground life thing
Philandra
isn't
lets
going
her-
well for you.
Lets her fingers play through the air, and like a sort of blue haze, like a purple-black haze, floats around her fingers. There's just like a necromantic miasma around everywhere. I can feel it. Clem, what is that doing to you?
Oh.
Ronald, I'm making that up, but I'm assuming that's probably the case.
Oh no, it's a good thing to make up. That being said, like Clem, it doesn't hit you as hard as it hit Sal. You literally had a conversation with death. It just feels like that. And death is not a
That's
good
fair.
thing. Death is not a bad thing. Death is just a thing.
It's just a thing.
Still,
Yeah,
there's definitely
Philandra
a
is
tinge
very
of it
great.
being abused.
Philandra's pretty strong in the necromantic arts, so
That's true.
she knows that. But it's pretty overpowering here, so.
But yeah, it's not affecting you too much, Clem.
I'm mostly just focusing on that the vampire that's in that cage still. Should I just go back and put her out of her misery?
I'm not gonna make you do that. It's not our responsibility. You sleep.
No, it just feels like the right thing to do, you know?
We shouldn't be too worried about that. The definition of what's right is very different.
Clem, sometimes I have a black and white way of looking at these things. And, fuck, it's a monster. I've been killing monsters my entire life. So, but you're right. I don't think Gadger's a monster even now. And if that's true, it might be true of the others. That's a pretty big fucking concession. But yeah, we can take care of it before we go to sleep.
Okay. Thank you.
I still have non-detection on me.
Good.
I cast it. I use it on Clem too.
Holt's gonna get up and leave the house.
Is
Kind of just
that,
lets her carry on, you know. as he starts to walk towards the cage.
I thought Clementine and I were walking towards the cage.
Mm.
Oh, were you? I thought you were still in the house. Well,
Oh,
that's
no.
the case.
Nah, you guys
That's-
said you'd take care of it before you left.
No,
Before we went to sleep,
before
yeah.
we went to sleep.
Oh.
By that I meant now.
Oh.
Oh,
Sorry, that was
Well, it's too late. Holt's already to it.
Oh, okay.
Like, you guys are like, yeah, we should take care of that. And you're like, where's Holt? And then before you can, like, figure out what happens, you hear a bang! And, like, this wretched thing looks up at you long enough to, like, for you to see a shimmer of bloodshot red eye, and as the electricity tears through what's left of her wretched body, she turns to dust.
it's a very similar feeling watching the damp dust drift from the cage as to that time that I sat upon Gemma's throne.
That's true.
A similar kind of release. And now Jakara can be a little more quiet.
Actually, Jakara doesn't do electrical damage anymore, does she?
No, she does.
Oh, I thought it
Audra
was all,
doesn't.
like,
About to say, what sort of damage does Audra do now?
Unholy.
Oh. Oh, God.
It still looks like lightning, but not natural.
It's wrong. Anyone who looks at that lightning is like, wait, what the fuck is that?
The pure arcs of white and blue have turned to black, edged in purple.
That being said, Holt, have I altered your resistances?
Only from my God's Meld that I just did.
What resistances have you been given?
I have fire resistance 5 and lightning 10.
Okay. You realize, like you think of Audra's unholy power, and you realize that the energy that it uses should harm you. Like, the arcs of electricity don't stop at the crossguard. They infest the hilt as well, but they don't hurt you anymore.
Huh.
You have acquired some degree of unholy resistance.
Interesting. I'll make note of that. Thank you, Mr. DM.
Any evil cleric who tries to flame strike you is going to feel very, very silly. Half of that's unholy damage. There's no what the fuck.
Half of that's what?
Half of that's what? Well, you also have fire resistance, so you're
I
not
do.
gonna take like. You're gonna chop off like a good chunk of damage. You just be
Hellfire
like, yeah, whatever.
is the same. Isn't Hellfire like that too?
No, Hellfire ignores fire resistance and immunity.
Oh, okay.
I'll teach you the difference, etc., etc.
Yeah. Very good.
Holding Baylor in lava as it screams. Alright, so now it's time for sleeps, yes?
Yep.
Sleep times is had. Now is time for Penzance, yes?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Sounds good. You travel...
Starting on the bourbon.
You travel for a few more days inland.
How many days?
5 days.
Okay.
Sort of like the backwater gradually grows more and more well traveled. The way stations that you find are more well sort of more well stocked, more well supplied. you come upon eventually you come to another town very much like Bernero?
Balerno.
Balerno. Kind of like Balerno, but instead of being a fucking miserable wreck where most of the buildings are falling apart, like, as soon as you walk in, there is a zombie ogre who is just, like, doing road work.
Hmm.
And, like, it's pretty clear that's all this thing does. It just walks around relaying all the bricks forever. And the various sort of thralls and minions that you encounter are sort of like more well dressed, more well put together. And when you're like 2 days out, you finally meet another living thing.
Actually, living?
I'm keeping my eyes out for any of the thralls that show signs of sentience.
Ah,
So, I mean, most of them are, I presume, just
oh my god.
non-sentient zombies and skeletons, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, occasionally you'll find a skeleton that's like made for socializing, and they're very much like the bartender that you encountered previously.
Protocol droids.
Right. Oh my god, yes. They're a little temporally displaced, but the further in you get, the sort of more well acquainted with reality they are. But 2 days out, at another one of these little way stations, you finally encounter your first living being. Like, the person is shackled to the bar, and they're the bartender. The numerous puncture marks on their neck and limbs go to showcase like how often they are cattle. I don't know exactly how that interaction goes, but you don't exactly have too much time to dwell on it. But like there is sort of like a remark of like, oh hey, you guys are alive and you're not drow. That's weird. That's funny.
So, they're chained to the bar.
Yeah.
They've obviously been used as food.
Yes, they're a blood bag.
Mm-hmm. They seem under control, or what is the emotional state?
The emotional state is muted. Like, there's definitely more interaction than even, like, the bartender. But, like, the spark of resistance has been taken away. Not suppressed, not beaten out of him, taken away. I took it out.
Jesus.
This is not going to be easy.
No, it's not. And Holt's going to order a drink.
Spirits are swapped, booze is consumed. This place it still has a stock of, like, emotions, but it also just has a stock of, like, regular booze now.
Oh, fantastic. Place that has whiskey.
Oh boy, does it.
Well aged, I assume?
You have no idea.
I really don't.
You will never meet a more patient vintner than a vampire.
Hey, any malediction cigarettes?
Malediction? Is that like a brand?
No, it's from Sandman Slim.
Oh.
The protagonist smokes malediction cigarettes, which are the cigarettes that are made in hell.
I mean, he says, "Nah, but we have a."
Have you guys
knockoff."
Have you guys read Sandman Slim?
I have not.
I don't think so, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's pretty it's pretty hardcore, like kind of punk urban fantasy. So,
Worth my time?
yeah,
Okay.
it's a little. A lot of the stuff I read is more on the feminist side, and this one's definitely kind of high testosterone.
Oh
So
boy.
so it's a little bit, the main character is definitely a macho, kind of a macho bit of a dick. Um, he's not particularly misogynistic though.
Not particularly. He's at the baseline level of male protagonist misogyny.
I've read worse. I'll give it a shot.
Definitely.
That Yeah, he's definitely a talented writer.
You mentioned sort of like macho-ness and
I've been on a kick of Afrofuturism, so it's a little bit. I'm a little more sensitive than I used to be. So.
the scenario you described reminded me of Preacher and how macho that series can be.
It's Garth Ennis.
Fuck.
Misogynist is the word you're looking for.
Do not activate this trap card. We will talk of nothing else for the rest of the evening.
Okay.
So
Down, Pidge.
So
Pidge
shift-
begins to froth at the mouth.
Pidge, are you agreeing or disagreeing with me fervently?
I am
Yes.
Clem
Yeah.
has problems with Garth Ennis.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
because just I love the idea so much and I want to like it so bad, but I so often the execution.
Yeah. I mean, most of those guys, a lot of them have serious misogyny issues. There's no question
Yeah.
about it. I mean, Frank Miller.
Oh boy.
Also, the art's fucking ugly.
And Frank Miller?
No,
Yeah, some of
whenever Garth Ennis gets in with Steve Dillon.
Oh.
I thought the art in Preacher was actually really good.
I don't know. I find the art.
Pidge
the art
has strange arbitrary standards.
It's
All right,
is
Fiona
skilled
Staples
art.
is.
I think the artist is very skilled, but I hate the style.
Okay.
Ah.
Fiona Staples is at the top of my list, so just make that clear.
So let's shift gears from misogyny to slavery.
Okay, great.
Nice segue.
What can I say?
So
So what do you guys do? You guys do anything with this blood bag?
pay
Are
him.
there any vampires around?
No. Yeah, there are a few. Actually, you're getting so further into the kingdom that the sight of a vampire is common, but you don't meet anyone as sort of like opulent and imperial as that knight. Mostly, you meet sort of like vampire clerks. Like they're
Like
dressed,
banker-looking people, businessmen.
yeah, like they're dressed in fine clothes, but like they don't have armor, they don't have weapons. They're just sort of chilling out. They seem to be here to blow off steam.
Huh.
Also, I should mention the blood bag bears a brand.
What is the brand of?
It's gonna be Ravenkind, just to annoy us.
The brand
I don't
is
care.
of a bow.
Do any of these vampires, do they just pass on their merry way?
Yeah, like if you don't draw any attention to yourself, like they assume you're on business and you assume they're on business.
Cool.
I mean, occasionally you do catch some glimpses of like, oh hey, those guys are alive. Weird.
I'm gonna message the blood bag. Is there anything we can do to help you?
Oh my god, Holt, you found it. It's perfect.
I'm on point tonight.
You're always on point.
Aw, thanks.
That hope is on fire.
Like, the response you get is, like, kind of distracted. Like, well, I'm kind of hungry. Like, it's like when you tell someone, I could eat.
I pass him some dried fruit from my bag and some water.
He gives you a thankful nod and munches on it idly. No one seems to notice or care.
I'll again ask him message him. Can you tell me anything about your house?
The response you get is sort of robotic.
Didn't think so.
Salandra, it's very difficult to break Imperial conditioning.
I'm analyzing the magic around him with my arcane sight. Is he under a spell, or is he permanently broken?
He's not under a spell. He's sort of suffused with sort of enchantment. Like, so imagine a tree. And the tree has its heartwood. What happens to the tree if you cut out its heartwood?
It's a shell that rots.
Not quite. It can regrow that heartwood. But
Oh, that's right. The sapwood is the thing that's necessary.
right.
The heartwood can survive without. I forgot. Yeah.
Right. But the heartwood would grow back. But what if you keep cutting out the heartwood? It will keep growing back, but every time you do, the tree grows weaker. This man's body and spiritual heartwood is being cut away at. And as such, over the years, they have both grown weaker. Like, this man has not been enchanted. He is enchantment. It would take years of rehabilitation if you got him out of here. And there would be some parts of his conditioning that could never be broken.
I'll make pleasant small talk with the guy if that's something he wants to do. Have any stories from the surface?
Like, Holt, he's got, like, pre-programmed responses. Like, oh, I guess we can't talk about the weather, can we? It's kind of really off-putting.
It is, but I'll keep him going. Maybe he'll derive some small satisfaction to using the programming he's been given.
You're not
I'm
so
beginning
certain,
to
but
understand.
afterwards you feel better.
Yeah, I do feel better about it.
What was that, Dave?
It's Solandra's just visualizing, like, all right, she's not the biggest fan of the Holy Guard and all the fucking paladins and such, but she's really starting to have fantasies about coming back here with Bowman and a few others of his people.
You would need more guardsmen.
I don't know.
I'm down here with Bowman and Fenwick and Daffy Feeks and...
Who's Daffy Feeks?
Another commander. She's a gnome paladin. The ankle biter of justice.
Oh.
We met her in the forest.
Oh,
Is that your creation or Ronald's creation?
That's Ronald's, actually. Fenwick's mine.
I would not be surprised. Like, Dave, I come up with so many fucking NPCs. I can't keep all this shit straight.
I can.
I'm glad. And like, Cap, I respect that, and I love that about you, and I'm glad you keep the notes of everything. But like,
I derive joy from it, so
right. But like, as far as I'm concerned, like the players will keep notes about the things that they thought were important, and if they don't think it's important, I don't need to bring it up again.
that's fair.
But if you ever make your campaign setting, you're gonna need him.
Yep.
Eh.
Need is a strong word. It's nice to keep me around, I think, but
My campaign settings are more about generating feelings. Everything has been crafted in service of the emotional connection that they make. Like, why is District 4 and District 3 the way they are? Because I want those two environments to be next to each other.
yeah.
And District 2.
Why is District 2 next to District 3? Well, that creates a whole completely different connection between the two. We've got
The way that Slandra was absolutely pissed off the first time she went to Wind City. Absolutely.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But similarly,
Casual wealth when her people are kind of starving half the time.
denizens of District 4 also have a similar reaction to District 3, but it's very different. They're both suffering from there's not enough resources to go around, but they suffer in very different ways. Anyway, do you guys move on from this less dismal, less backwater?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Got it.
Sandra's trying to suppress any nasty magical effects that might come into play from her incipient rage.
I'm gonna slip the bartender a potion of cure light wounds under the table.
He looks seriously thankful. Cap. Post the image.
Which image?
The one that you posted last time. The one that I didn't want you to.
Oh, that one.
That one.
Give me a moment.
I know, you'll have to scroll up.
Yeah.
I can't believe you found the perfect image of the bricklaying ogre.
Bam!
Boom! Got him!
There he is! There he is!
Welcome to Penzance.
Is there a sign that says welcome to Penzance?
No.
Okay.
I mean, there's a guy hanging from a thing.
Oh.
He's very dead.
Hmm.
Not very undead, very dead.
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 As
I
in,
hate
yeah.
this place.
And like there's a sign on his chest of his naked body that just says dissenter.
In common?
It's in many languages.
Oh, good.
Like
Wonderful.
Common, Gutter Speak, Celestial, Infernal, Orcish, Goblin. But among the streets, the streets are walked mainly by the dead.
Understandable.
Vampires of various station and attitudes and dress. But it does seem like certain sort of fashionable qualities are shared in common by them. Like the people that you see congregating together all kind of look alike. There are a lot of sort of elegant elves that are consorting together. There are a lot of sort of like handsome men. There are a lot of sorts of daddy sort of looking guys. And like there are definitely a whole lot of smash folk who are congregating together. But like it's weird. It's just weird seeing an ogre wearing a tux.
I like it.
And yes, there are like flying shadows representative of a greater darkness flitting about on the cloudy, moonlit sky. Not a literal moon. But overall, like, Penzance seems very well run. Like, you're not sure if the lights down here run on electricity. But there are, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot of artificial illumination.
Huh.
Thank God we didn't bring grub.
Oh, man. Right, there's a Fallen London quote that comes to mind. When we ran out of whale oil, we burned the nearest thing at hand. Sinners.
Oh.
But yeah, for the most part, the various townspeople just sort of mind their business. And there are, like...
Oh, by the way, is Toby a statue or is he walking around with us?
He's walking around with us right now.
That's a decision.
I look at Clementine. You sure you want to leave Toby out here?
I look around to see if any of the vampires notice Toby.
I mean, one of the... You know what? This guy. This guy
Well,
is...
it's not even the vampires. They're probably some, like, Renfield types.
This guy is nearby, and he just looks at your goat and says, "You expect me to eat that? I have standards, you know." And he scoffs and walks away.
Clem grins over at Salandra. See, he's perfectly safe.
As we're entering into the city, Reynold, I would like to note that I have my shield on my arm.
Got it. Is your shield emblazoned with any sort of special seal or symbol?
Mine, my shield, no. No, it looks very plain.
Okay.
It is heavily enchanted, though, for those with magical eyes.
Hey.
Yeah, for those with magical eyes, we're like a freaking supernova walking down the street.
You do turn a few heads, but, like, you're not sure if their disaffection towards you is affect or genuine.
Okay.
Like, they could be like, "Oh, I'm not going to pay attention to that because it's not important." Or they could be saying, "I'm not paying attention to that because it's important."
Above my pay rank. Pay grade.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You are above all of these people's pay grades. I mean, they could be... They could be compelled to swarm against you, but
Not
even
worth.
so... Like, most of these people aren't even fully fledged vampires. Most of them are spawn. Like,
Pussies.
oh yeah, you can tell the difference between the spawn and the full-blooded vampires. Like, the knight you met before was a full-blooded vampire. He wasn't a particularly, like, high-rank full-blooded vampire, but he was full-blooded. You can tell the spawn apart because the spawn look sort of like more rotted, decayed, less people-like. Like, this guy here, he is definitely a Lady Paugor spawn, not a full-blooded ogre vampire. Although, now you have just considered the phrase full-blooded ogre vampire. And if that doesn't make you pee a little bit, like, come on, get over yourself.
Just a little bit.
Literally only a little bit, like, just a drop.
Fuck, a Titan vampire.
Piss.
That's a bladder. Yeah, that's a bladder shock.
No, thank you.
A ancient gold dragon vampire.
Dave, please.
Shut up, Dave.
Not.
Let me just write that down.
But, yeah. And so there are a lot of bats flying around to and fro, hither and yon. How many of them are actually vampires in disguise? That remains to be seen.
Ooh, I just came up with a good one.
What?
A
Yeah.
Shoggoth vampire.
I don't think those things.
I don't think aberrations can become vampires.
What if a Shoggoth ate a lot of vampires?
No, fair enough. It might actually. You know what? I did.
Don't you put that evil in this universe. Don't you do that to me.
Well, thankfully, there are no Shoggoths down here that have eaten too many vampires. No, the creator got
That's
rid of all
good.
the Shoggoths. He sent them away.
Too disorderly.
He thought killing them would be cruel.
Sent them to the plane of no longer our problem.
Yep. Maddening
All right.
cacophony.
I'm keeping an eye out for anyone who is. One of us should be wearing the goggles.
Not me.
I will.
Not fucking me.
I'm keeping an eye out for anyone who is actually paying attention to us, even if they're trying to pretend they're not.
Roll that beautiful sense motive footage.
That's the sense motive?
Yep.
Okay.
May I roll to assist?
You may.
That's a 35.
12.
It assists.
Yes. I'm helping.
Helpful hold.
Yeah, spellcraft is the only skill which I've taken bought a full 19 ranks of my own.
Worth it.
Yep.
It is an excellent skill.
Comes handy.
Ooh, there we go. I like. Oh, Jesus. There is one whose affect you can't quite read. But they certainly are not looking away.
Are they wearing a house sigil?
They are.
Which sigil might that be?
1 second.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were waiting for me to ask.
No. This is emblazoned on their coat.
Ah.
I walk over to her.
Bolder than I expected.
Take us, Tim.
What did you say?
I said, take us to him.
Very bold. Normally there would be appointments, requirements to make such an audience, but people like you? And like she gives you a knowing look. People like you can skip to the front of the line. I suppose.
Clem gives the wanderer an impressed look.
This it frightens me that when Clementine seems impressed by me showing my 8 wisdom.
And like she walks with a cane. It's obvious that the cane is a weapon of some kind. Whether it's a sword or a gun, you're not quite sure. There are guards, and the guards each bear the sigil of their sort of lord and master, and they're sort of like musketeer levels of technology. So like some of them are wielding rudimentary pistols, cap and ball, not flintlock. Yeah, cap and ball with sabers, because, you know, I got 6 shots, and for the most part, you don't care. It's pretty clear the swords are for each weapon is designed for different targets. Let me put it that way.
Yes.
Arcane sight. What sort of magic does she and the guards have?
The guards have like basic rudimentary magical weapons and armor. Like we're talking like, you know, plus one, plus 2 studded leather. You know, plus one saber with a fire enchantment, or you know maybe a +1 gun with some. Ooh, I got this +3 bullet. It's just there for just in case. Her magical equipment is much more verbose. She seems to be an agent of quality. I describe it all, but I don't have it all written down, and fuck it, I don't care.
That's fine.
So,
But we're
probably not
dealing
going to
like,
fight her tonight.
like, yeah, she's got like that cane thing is +4 or whatever it is.
Damn.
And that armor is like also +3 with some other enchantment on it. And she has another like a whole cadre and set of wondrous items and a secret stash of like wands stuffed into a breast pocket.
So she's someone who would have really kind of been a problem for us 5 levels ago.
Yes. A long time ago, she'd have been a problem. Also, she's probably never had to fight someone alive who's so strong. A lot of her magical tricks are probably meant for disrupting the undead, not the living. In any event, why not? Why not go whole hog? Tell me why I shouldn't go whole hog, Cap.
Go whole hog.
Go
30 to 50 wild hogs.
God damn it.
I figured that if Solana has to walk around this place in looking for stuff, she's gonna see a lot of things that she's gonna drive her nuts. So, better to skip.
There we go. Don't let the size fool you. It's not huge, but it is a castle. You probably consider it more of a keep. But it does have walls, and it does have rooms, and it does have spires and parapets. The carriages are pulled by skeletal horses or oxen. And she sort of like sneers at them.
How far away is this from where we met her?
Maybe like an hour's walk away.
Okay.
Like, Penzance is huge.
It is a city, capital C.
I am keeping up
Metropolis,
my
capital
my
M.
vigilance as we go. Looking for anyone who's paying too much attention to us.
Are you worried?
No. I'd just rather know than not know.
Fair enough. Perhaps you should be. You're entering Lord Ravenkind's domain. Once you pass beyond those walls, you'll be outnumbered 20 to 1.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yes, but I get the distinct impression that normally the creatures you fight don't feed on you for sustenance.
That's not exactly the right impression. Then.
Have you ever fought a slobbering, raging beast before?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Good. Um, she leads you in through the portcullis. And there are a lot of...
I'm presuming that Clementine has a couple of those sunlight spells on her. So
Oh yeah.
that's our nuke in this particular case.
Tactical nuke. There are a lot of statues.
Hooded figures.
Not quite. So under the hoods are images of the blood lords, but as you can see, most of them have been broken. The one nearest the entrance is of Lady Brownbow. The one furthest is Kaichek. Mirish and Paugar are in between.
Is there a statue bearing a face of Ravenkind's description?
There is not. But so like you go in through the portcullis and the courtyard is somewhat more subdued than you would expect. There's not a whole lot of hustle and bustle going on. But as you enter the foyer, there is a concierge who like rushes to attention and just like holds up his hand before you all and just says, "Excuse me, Lord Ravenkind is not expecting visitors at this time." And she looks at him and he just like starts shaking and bleeding from the nose a little bit and just like,
Oh Jesus.
like he goes full on, "What year is it?" And she just says, "You don't have the authority to tell me anything. Sit down." And like he doesn't go back to the chair he was sitting in, he just sits down on the floor.
Jesus.
Was he a vampire himself?
Yes.
Nice trick.
It's not a trick. Is it...
Your
is it
place in the pyramid, then.
Is it a trick when you make your arm rise up and down?
Depends on the person.
Exactly. And she leads you up a set of stairs and into a grand chamber where there is a singularly morose vampire sat upon a modest throne. Lord Ravenkind, our illustrious house has visitors. From the surface for once. And, like, he looks up with the faintest glimmer of joy in his eyes. And that's where we're gonna cut it!
Oof. Oof.
Damn.
Good shit.
So, just out of curiosity, did that go the way you expected?
Yeah, mostly.
Cool. Well done, team.
Nice work, y'all.
Well
Fun,
done.
fun game.
Y'all get 10,000 experience points for a session well played.
Inching on up there.
Move it on up. Yeah, now you know how fiercely the hierarchy can be enforced.
Yeah.
I like it.
You can't tell me what to do. I
Skip.
can literally tell you what to do.
It's giving Holt ideas for the future.
What are you talking about, Dave?
Cap, I'm just saying, free will is a liability.
Holt's
just say
journal.
why.
Holt's journal is now titled "Thoughts on How to Be an Evil Overlord."
Learn from a pro.